Okay, good evening and welcome to this Motzei Shabbos edition of Daily Double, Nightly Double. It's the night over here. If you can't see in the background, no, that's actually the night. It's not just black paint on the windows, not tinted windows. We're doing Perek Zion and Masechus Eiruvin Mishnah Vav and Zion. Mishnah Vav states, Ketzad Mishtafim Maboy. We talked about Shetuvim Mabus, Eiruvin Chatzeros. You want to join together in a common street, right? So how do you join together to allow you to carry from your chutzner and your house to the street? Everyone on the street has to join together. If you're all Jews, you join together. And this mission is going to explain how you do it. Maniach has a chavis. Usually the way it works is one person takes a barrel of wine. It could be a barrel of figs or whatever's in your barrel. It doesn't have to be bread. As opposed to Eiruvin Chatzeros, we're going to learn it has to be bread specifically. Usually it's one person who's makbid on the halacha. Other people aren't until makbid on the halacha. So therefore, the rabbi on the block, he's going to want to do it for everybody. So he takes out a barrel of wine, and he's mazak. He doesn't have to actually give it to everybody. He can give a portion of the barrel of wine to each person, and therefore each of the people will have part ownership in this barrel, at least a right. We'll talk about that. A right to take from this barrel. If he has children which are over bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah age, he can say to them, right, he can have them then pick up the barrel on account of all the other people and give a right for everyone on the block to take from his barrel. Like the Ado Shivchas Eiruvin, or if he has servants that are Jewish servants or a female Jewish servant, Amma Ivriya, he can do that. Also, also his wife could do it for other people. And the only people he can't use to help him do this trick are children that are minors, that are under the age of bar bat mitzvah. And if he has kanainim, abundant kanainim, they're not fully Jewish, so he can't use those people because technically he owns their hands. Now, he doesn't own their entire bodies. However, he owns whatever they make. Everything that an Eved Kanaini makes belongs to his master. Everything a child makes, if you didn't know this, if your children are under bar bat mitzvah, belongs to you as a father. The Maisi Adayim of children belong, and any wages they earn technically belong to the father. When they become bar mitzvah, it belongs to them. But before then, it doesn't belong to them. So you can't mizaka. I can't give ownership, right? This is a concept of zachin la'adam shalom b'fanav. Meaning, when I want to give a present to someone, person doesn't have to be there. If I want to help someone acquire ownership of something, he's not present. I can have someone who technically could acquire it on his behalf. That's the concept of zachin la'adam shalom b'fanav. You could benefit someone even though he's not in front of you, and that's what you do. People that are not, right, you don't own them or you don't own their earnings, so they can help you by acquiring it for somebody else. But your children, the minor children, can't, because whatever they own, you own. So you're just like giving from one hand to another hand. It's not doing anything. Zayin ismaid ha'ochel. We're going to discuss in Mishnah Ches how much food you have to have there. If there's a certain share, there's a certain amount that each person has to own, and it has to be total for the shtufim mabuos. So let's say during the week you have this barrel of wine that you use for the whole year. Let's say you took from it in the middle of the week, and there's not enough share for everybody. Most of them you could add on to it and do like we said in Mishnah Vav, just again reacquire for those people on your block. You don't have to tell them, because zachin la'adam shelo b'fanav. When you're mezaka for someone, you help someone acquire something. You don't need to ask their permission. We assume, right? People want to have the right to possessions, right? People want to have more money, more possessions. So if I give something to someone, I don't have to ask him. The Tosfos Aleya, most of them mezaka. Let's say there's more people that join. They build some new apartments, some new houses on the block, and there's new people, and he wants to acquire. Most of them mezaka v'sarach lo'odia. You have to add more to the barrel, right? Because the barrel already is owned entirely by everyone on the block. So he has to add more to the barrel. And that extra wine or whatever he's putting in there, he has to have his, someone else be mazaka, acquire it for those people. And here he has to be modiyah to them. Now the question is why he has to let these new neighbors know. The reason is, as the Rav Adi Bartanura explains, we're talking about a case where this is a chutzner. There's people who live in a house where they live on a corner house or a corner apartment, a corner building, let's say. So they share two streets, right? They have street on one side of the house, street on the other side of the house. So by adding them to your street, to one side of the house, right, that means they're taking away their ability to use the other side of the house. So therefore, it's not called complete zaken l'adam shalom afanim. It's called chavin l'adam shalom afanim, because maybe they want to use the other street, and by them joining you, they can't they can't join with the other street. So they have to pick. We'll learn maybe you can use two streets or you'll only choose one. But right now, you're disabling them from using the other street. You're taking only our street. So therefore, they have to ask them permission if they want to join your Stufim Abos or not, if you want to mizakeh for them. That's the conclusion of today's share. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for Iyam Mitzion, where I talk about the difference between Eiruvin Chatzeros and Stufim Abos. This is a big machlokas. The Gemara, the Durham talks about this. It's very unique in Mishnah Vav. It says that one of the people that you can use for Mazak and Ladam Shalom Fanav is your wife. You use your wife. There's another brayse of Eiruvin Chatzeros, which seems to indicate you can't use your wife. We'll talk about why the difference between Shtuvim and Mavuos and Eiruvin Chatzeros and whether you can use your wife or not to Mazaka. Ian Mitzion coming up next.